That's how you get all the finer details, and that's what makes this a really interesting kit. Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and I'm going to be opening up the box for the Hasegawa Grober Hund Altair type. Now, you're probably aware that we really love our Ma.K type kits here. So Ma.K is a futuristic storyline which was developed by the artist Kow Yokoyama, and they first got released in the 1980s through the Hobby Japan magazines, and through there they've developed, and they're all quite unique because every single box art is painted by Kow Yokoyama, and so you'll find his signature and the year that he does each of them. So with the Hasegawa kits, these are actually not as limited as the wave type kits, so they do get redone probably every year or so. The wave ones you have to be really quick with, because generally they're not re-released for a number of years between, and each edition is quite different because every edition has a different box art. But we'll have a close look at this one. It's one of the favorites around. It's based on a robotic interceptor unit. So with a built one here. So this one was built by Warwick some time ago. They're the 1/20th scale. Now 1/20th scale is equivalent of a figure about this big, so it gives you an idea of how big this robot is. So the Grober Hund, there's a few different variations. So this particular one being the Altair, the main differences are with the back section. So it's got the big backpack with the rocket engines and the antennas on the back. Okay, so if you haven't made a Ma.K kit before, this is a really good starting point. It is a complicated kit. It's got a lot of bits and pieces. The original, well, when you build the kit, it will have a lot of joints, so vinyl joints, which will allow it to be posed. But this one's already been glued, fixed in its particular position, just to maintain its look. So let's have a close look inside. So let's open it up. Okay, so all the bits are bagged. So let's see if I can get a closer look at some of these bits. Let's move this over here. Alright, so we've got, let's do this. These are the halves of the backpack. You get some hatches there for the backpack as well. There's a sheet of clear parts there for the lenses. So you might notice a lot of these lenses are on the chest for spotlights and also around the head. You got some frontal armor bits and side armor plates. And then on this side, you've got the main torso halves here. And then you've got some of the framework, which would be for the arms and also for around the shoulders. Okay, move on to the next bit. Okay, so a bit harder to see on this one because it's all bagged in the one. So we've got the parts of the legs, got more armor. You see all these finer parts here. So you've got a separate sprue inside, which is just fine nut detail and rivet detail. Over here you've got, these would be the hip joint with ball joints. So that's where the polycaps pop in, so you've got your articulation in the pose. You can just see the engines here. So there's two sheets of sprue here which are identical, and they'll have all the various parts. You can see halves for the extinguisher looking cylinder. Let's flip it around over here. See more parts of the arms, more ball joints, more armor and bits and pieces. So unfortunately you just see the face underneath here and some of the torso parts. Okay, so from there they always give you this very comprehensive large decal sheet. So you got the full listing of numbers, so you can choose whatever tactical numbers you like. So you can buy multiples of these and make up a whole squadron of them. Or you can just keep these. A lot of people just use these as spare decals for other models in the future. So you've got different tactical symbols. They're all very, very clever, and these are all designed by Kow Yokoyama. And then you've got all of these stenciling here to add extra detail, make it look very much like an aircraft type of machine. Okay, so that's the decals. You also get one of these small sheets here. So Various kits will come with these. You'll notice that it's already got the binder holes marked into it. So you can get a binder to actually collect these. So that's the different configurations and colors. And a little bit of a story about this particular Grober Hund Altair unit. Okay, and then from there you've got the manual. So Hasegawa manuals are all very nice. You've got your color list there. So with this, the color list is quite simple, but a lot of people like to paint these in a lot of different ways. So coloring these particular science fiction type kits is something quite personal. So you can do what you like. So here you get a better idea of all the individual sprues. There's a lot of bits. So this particular one, there's 2 of these and 2 of these. This is the one with the engines on it that I showed before. And then this particular one has the leg type armor. And then you've got some rubber hoses here as well. So they're parts here which go into the backpack. Okay, and then here you'll notice that step-by-step instructions, the steps are actually very small because there's a lot of steps. So it goes through building the feet, into the legs, and then all your legs are finished up here, getting into the hip arrangement. And then as you go into the hips, start building the main bodywork. All the way into here, and then you've got your the weapon, so your laser weapon here, into your shoulders and arms, and then it flips all the way over here. You can see how much work's involved. Okay, that's finishing up the weapon on the arm. It's all built in into the head, and then you've got the shoulders, connecting the head to the shoulders, into doing the engines and the rear end. This is attaching the arms onto the shoulders, all the wiring, and then this is attachment of the shoulders onto the main body. Then all the finer bits, and then you're finished. So you can easily see how complicated this particular kit is, and that's how you get all the finer details, and that's what makes this a really interesting kit. Now that's the Grober Hund Altair by Hasegawa. So if you haven't done Ma.K before, it's a really good one to do. As you can see here, you can see just within the insides. Well, you have a closer look. I mean, you can see all the springs within the inside there, all the various hoses. Really nice. One of my favourite kits. It's one of Warwick's favourites as well. He was actually doing another one at the moment, and that should be finished shortly. But definitely worth a go. So that's the Grober Hund Altair.